today. Like GIT is completed almost except few things. Before we get into the next part, like a few concepts of GIT, any questions from the previous classes? Have you all started the hands-on? Where were you with the hands-on? Can I know the updates? Like where were you? And day one, day two completed for the with the hands-on. Day one, day two topics completed. Hello. Have you guys started the hands-on? Am I audible? And can anyone respond? Have you started the hands-on? I see few people posting shots with errors and all in the last couple of days, but how about others? Have you all started doing the hands-on on Git? And where were you? Where were you guys with the hands-on?
Preeti, myself, I started yesterday. I have not started hands-on. I'll take a look into today.
Okay, sure. You are there in the WhatsApp group, right? A separate group.
Yeah, seems one group is there. Yeah.
So start doing the hands-on and post your queries and all. I'm just making sure that you are all doing the hands-on. After the session, you should do the hands-on. Any queries, you can post them in the group. That's how you should complete learning Git by now.
Okay.
Everyone take the step if you haven't started the hands-on and get started. So today, let me talk about few things which we need to understand when we are working with a remote repository. First, let's talk about the branching strategy. In real time, there were different projects who uses different branching strategies as per the requirement, as per their design. Okay, I'm talking about the most generally used ones. So in general, in reality, we will not do anything on the master branch. Means master branch will be restricted with any commits. Either you cannot just create a file and commit this way. No, this will not be possible, as well as you cannot directly push to master. You can't. What you should do and why you can't, there will be branch restrictions. If you go to settings, branches, see here, branch rule set. Of course, this will be done by an admin or a senior member. One of them will have the GitHub or Bitbucket admin access. They can provide this. They can put the settings. Or else in organizations, in bigger MNCs, there will be something like org level restrictions, like across the company, across the organization, that this is how repos should work and all. Whatever it is, there'll be some restrictions posed. How you pose those restrictions, like I said, it will be out of your scope. Most of the times that will be in org level restrictions, or sometimes it could be the project level or that particular module level restrictions, which would be done by the some admins. So you don't see these changes, like how do you set those restrictions and all, but I'm just giving you some idea. There'll be something like settings where you can have branch set rules, like branch name, let's say master, I want to impose all the direct push rules. Restrict deletions, no one can delete it, no one can update it. And creations, only users bypass to create matching references. There should be commits as well. Require a pull request before merging. This is important. What is this? I'll tell you. So they can't directly push. Push means merge, right? They can't do the push. Okay, create the rule. It will prompt for password of your GitHub when you are making these settings. Right, this rules does not target any resources and will not be applied. What happened? Enforcement status. The rules, which rules should be? let me see. Okay, anyway, I have created. Actually, one more thing is here, you could also set the approvals, right? Required approvals, like how many people need, means we are doing we are stopping the direct merges or pushes. And also you can set how many approvals are needed. Let's say I placed one. I'll show you what is all this. Done. Now let's go to repo one. Okay, this is master branch. I'm trying to create a file. See here, do you see commit is grayed out? Can you all see that? Commit is grayed out, as well as you cannot push to this master branch directly. Commits are disabled. Direct commits for master will be disabled. No one can push the changes here directly. No one can make a commit here directly. Then what you should do? Generally, again, you don't directly do anything on master. Let's suppose I'm a developer, or else let's say I'm a DevOps person. I want to write another CI/CD pipeline. I want to configure another pipeline. What I'll do, I'll create a branch from master. Let's just see, create a branch from master. Okay, develop my changes here. Then, okay, once this is working fine, I may merge it back to master. I have created from the UI, you could do it this way. Like you are having this, right? You are on master branch and you have something here. Sorry. You have the branch here. Let's say git checkout minus B3 master, or else let's say this is how we generally give the naming convention. Let's say I want to configure something for EC2 feature branch. I'm developing a new feature branch from master. Okay, let's say develop the changes here. Okay, let me say, okay, this is the feature branch. I would like to make some changes, right? Git add and commit. It's not a new file, so I can add and commit this way. File change or something like this, right? So make the changes. Now, because I can't push it directly into master, I shouldn't be working on master. I'll create some feature branch from master, because master will be a dedicated branch, dedicated for prod and stable code. We don't change that very frequently. So rather you will create some feature branch. Every developer, like I'm doing, every developer collaborator connected to this repo will be creating their own branches, develop there. And if you are done, just push Docker, git push. Right, once this is pushed. So this is the one we pushed just now. This is pushed. Now what happens is, again, if you ask me the complete flow, yes, DevOps team, okay, will create a feature branch, a new feature, a new stage in the CI/CD pipeline, new modification in the CI/CD pipeline, whatever it is. And whenever you create a branch, do you remember in the day one we were learning that whenever a code commit is done, whenever a commit is done on GitHub, it will trigger a pipeline. So whenever I made a branch or I made a change, it will automatically create the pipeline itself. How and all we will see. Okay, this we did not come to that, but I'm just giving you the complete flow to help you understand the strategy. So pipeline will be created. This would be deployed on some test environments. Let's say this is working fine. This is good. This passed all the requirements. Then, okay, feature branch is doing good. I may merge this to the next level branch, some test branch or integration, whatever, and then to the master, right? So again, for test also, there'll be CI/CD created. It would be deployed into some test environment, then master, finally to prod. Am I making sense? Anything you want to develop you could be a developer, it could be a code, your application code, or you could be a DevOps engineer. You might be working with some changes for pipelines or for Terraform configuration, whatever it is, you create a new feature, develop it and push it to your repository. Whenever you push it to repository, automatically pipeline will be created and deploy those changes to the lower environment. Once it is working fine, you will merge it into the next branch, like test branch. Again, deploy it into another next level environment and test it. Once it is working fine, then you will merge this to master. Is the flow clear, everyone? Getting an idea? We'll see, like once branch is created, how CI/CD will be create this part, we have to learn it. But our focus is this one, like creating a branch. If it is working fine, merge it to test. If it is working fine, again merge it to master. How to merge it? That's what is PR. We'll talk about it. And then like what happens when you create it at the back end, like it will create a pipeline. Once it is passed, then we will merge it. It's not that here as of now, as we are learning it, okay, we are merging it to other branches kind of. But this is a scenario where merge comes into picture, where you have a need to merge. Am I clear?
Yes, Preeti.
Right? So now, okay, fine. Okay, I have developed a feature branch, feature EC2. That way, that is CI/CD is built, it is tested, it is doing good. Now I want to merge it to test branch. Test branch, if you want to merge, yes, you can run a merge command and then push to remote. That is fine. Like you go to local, merge it and push it. That's fine. But then, okay, fine. Or it is also doing it. I want to merge this to master. How do you merge this to master? Can you just go here? Here you may do merge, like git merge that feature master. I can do this. But okay, once I merge it, I cannot do this. Git push origin master, right? Like I already explained you. Merges are restricted on master. You can't directly do that. Following everyone, can I hear from everyone? Right? You can't merge it. What you should do here, you should raise a PR. That's called pull request or merge request on Bitbucket. How you should do? Go and create a PR. New pull request. From which branch? From feature branch to master. See, it will show you the changes. See here, plus indicates, okay, what is the difference? What are you going to pull? Create a pull request. Give some description. Okay, this is the change. This is the Terraform config for EC2 modification, whatever, some description, right? And create a pull request. And the reviewers will get the request. Do you remember I added one approver? You may add one approvers or two approvers. It depends on the project, on their restrictions. It might be needing an approval by their manager, but their lead before they merge it. Right? So when I create the pull request, those approvers will get the request. Here, see, there are no approvers. That's why I am seeing the option merge pull request. Otherwise, you will not see this option. Right? You will not see this option. Your approvers, whoever configured as approvers will see that. See here, reviewers, approvers. So they will merge it. That's all. But you can't directly merge it. Am I making sense? You can't merge it. Because I'm the only one person available here and it's me who created it, it's showing for me. But you will have some reviewers here. See here, you can choose like whoever are in the project. Of course, everyone will not have access to choose your reviewers. That is set in the rule set, like I have shown you here, right? Like we have defined some rules. Protected branches, like what is a protected branch? Like master branch, waiver certain. Here are the rules, rule sets. Already some rules were there here. Okay, so here are some rules. Like here, I have chosen one approver. You may choose two approvers. Each project, as per its requirement, you will have it. The number of approving reviews that are required before pull request can be merged. If I so choose two, I can never do that because this project doesn't have any collaborators. Right?
Preeti, see, after generally when the CI/CD pipeline will get triggered once we made the change or once we done the merging.
Actually, that is again different ways how you configure your pipelines. Means one thing is like whenever this feature branch is created, automatically it will create a pipeline, right? And the pipeline will be passed. And then you raise a PR. In some, see, it is all your customization. Each project, each company, again in the company, there would be different projects as per the requirement that goes on. You can do either ways. One way is, first thing, whenever you create a branch, yes, automatically CI/CD pipeline is created. If you don't want, you can restrict it. Again, it's all customization, right? Generally, like there will be some restrictions. Okay, if it is a feature branch, no need to create a CI/CD automatically. Only if it is release branches, means if the name starts with release, then create a CI/CD. Right? Those are the restrictions imposed by the projects, by the orgs. That's how it is. So we can do either ways. It is all the customization. One way is, okay, create a branch, create a CI/CD for every branch. So like I created a branch here, it will create a CI/CD. Then I'll raise a PR. Here is the PR, right? Even for this PR also, you can configure your CI/CD pipe. Means you can configure your Jenkins file such a way that it will create a pipeline for this PR also. Means PR changes will be tested first. Then if the pipeline is successful, then only it will be merged. Isn't it? That's very valid. Even though approvers approve it, but still before merging it, the pipeline means how the approvers will approve it. Okay, they will see the code, but there'll be approvers like in the higher level who want the bills passed, then only they want to approve it, right? There'll be different levels of approvers. Someone may review the changes you made and they approve. Some of them want the bill status to approve. So we can also configure the pipeline such a way that for every PR you create, it will also create a pipeline. Or else in some projects, PRs once merged, then the change will create a pipeline. It is all customization. You can customize to any extent. So now coming to our part, yes, what I'm saying is, yes, whenever you create a branch, a pipeline will be created. Once it is successful, I'll price a PR to this. Once the approver approves it, it will be merged. Let me approve it. Okay, merge the pull request. Confirm the merge. Right? So now you have the changes into the master branch. You can see here, see merged the pull request number 1. This is the feature 9 commits. This is the one. Okay, some file change. This is the one. So because I had a commit on the master branch, it would trigger the CI/CD and deploy to production. Right? So that's a strategy implemented across. So PRs are the ways that how your code goes to prod. This is very important. PR approvals, there'll be a lot of checks made. Like I said, PR itself can create a pipeline. Once the bills are successful only, that could be deployed.
Are we going to discuss all these different kinds of strategies going forward, Preeti? Because when we are going to implement full-fledged pipelines with using Jenkins and Kubernetes and all,
Yeah.
will all this comes into the part of our classes?
Yes, the CI/CD pipelines, triggering the pipelines comes in. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's about the PRs and all. And here, few more things are like, yeah, another general thing, like in your project, like we are working on this repository. Let's suppose you want to take some open source project and develop on top of it. You can search any projects here, search in the repository or search in the Sonar or else search entire GitHub. There should be an option to search on entire GitHub. Let's say I'm searching, search all GitHub for some Docker projects, some open source projects. Let's say if you are a developer, you know, right? There might be some projects which are already there. You want to take that as a base and develop on top of it. Yes, you can do it. This is an open source project. If you click on fork your own copy. Means when you fork it will be copied into your account, into your GitHub account. It will be added like your own project. Later on, you can make modifications on top of this open source project and develop your own project. These are some general things, concept of forking. I have forked a few. Let me show you. See, these are the projects, but there is something which I have forked. See, See here, there is some project called MediaWiki, forked from Wikimedia. You will see like we're from what is the parent or what is the source, Wikimedia. So this is some PHP project for demo purpose on Puppet. We used to, like I have used this one some time back, but yeah, the whole point is you get added into your account, like your own repo. Again, it's like a remote repo. You can clone it into your local, make modifications, push this here. So the thing is, whatever changes you make here will not be available on the original one, but any changes happened on the original one will be obviously available for you. That is the whole point of forking. This would be helpful in general, like when you are making, when you want to take some open source projects and develop on top of it and create your own modules or something like that, and or else if you want to contribute back to the open source projects, this is how forking can be used.
Yeah, this forking automatically adds that entire branch into our local branch.
No, nothing local here, right? Whenever I fork it, see, this is remote, this is GitHub. Whenever
Okay.
I fork it, this project is added into my account. Like my
Okay.
user is Preeti D, it is added to my repo like any other repo. So address book is what I created, repo one is what I created. So this will be added into my remote, into my GitHub account, that's all. Now, like I cloned any other repo, you may clone it into local, develop something, push it here, and that's how you just work with it.
Okay.
Like you are taking some open source project available on GitHub and copying into your own account. And later
ఇట్లా
on,
ఇలా పైకి ఇటు చూడు పైకి చూడు పైకి చూడు పైకి.
so that's about forking and PRs. So that completes the GitHub. GitHub completed means still now we have completed from the perspective of managing your files, right? We need to learn another perspective of using it in the CI/CD pipelines and all. That we have to start after starting Jenkins. Means we need to start Jenkins for that to create CI/CD pipelines and integrate this. So GitHub is completed means we learned the concept, but integrating it with the Jenkins, creating CI/CD pipelines, we will be using this Git and GitHub throughout the course, right? It's not a stop, but yes, the major concepts are done. So before jumping on to the next topic, today I just want to try something. I just want to try adding you guys. Can you just share few email IDs, like one or two, and first see if you can see the repo and work with it? Can you share some email IDs? You can put it on the Zoom chat so that I'll add here. Please give the email ID without any typos. Surya, please resend the email ID. It's not copying. Can you put your email ID in that WhatsApp group, please? I could not copy from the Zoom chat. It's not allowing copy. Please put that in the Zoom chat or else ping me personally in the Zoom, sorry, in the WhatsApp, sorry. In the WhatsApp, not in the group, ping me personally. I'll message here, ping me personally on the personal window. Yeah, I got one. Give only your registered email IDs, please, not any random email IDs. Okay, I got two. Enough. And this is enough. Give me the registered ones only. First, let me check with them. Could not find a GitHub account with this. Kritika's email ID. Please
Priti,
make
I pinged my Gmail ID. You can try that.
yeah, ping the Gmail ID which is registered with us, also which is having GitHub account. Okay, let me add one first. Meanwhile, you get your email IDs. Can you just accept this? I think this is Surya. Can you accept that?
Preeti, where I will get that access request? Preeti?
Yes, in your email ID, you can check your email.
Okay, sure, sure. Yeah, it's done.
So can you see the project? Go to GitHub and see.
Yeah, I can see the repo one and
Can
file
you
one to
see
file
all
six
the
files.
features? Can you see
Sorry?
all branches?
Yeah, yeah,
Can
all files I can see it. Yeah,
all branches, everything? Can you
yeah,
just make
master.
some changes to this feature and try to push it from the UI? Just try doing it. Just 1 second. Let me. Yeah, make some changes and try to create a PR.
Shall I share my screen, Preeti?
Yep. Okay.
I think it's disabled. Sharing is disabled.
Okay, one. You can share that. And go to that feature EC2. Make some change. You can change some file. Click on that file. Edit. There, edit option is there. Pencil mark, pencil. Submit. Yeah, raise a PR. Go to pull request. Yeah. New pull request. Here, there. Compare. Base is master. You want to raise it from feature. Create a pull request. Give some description. Just give me a second. Wait now. So like I got the pull request now. Whatever changes you made, I can review. I should restrict for yourself, right? I should change the settings for you. Like not that everyone can approve that. That's how we should customize it. I'll change those permissions. So understood. So you will raise a PR. So the reviewers will get that option to review so that they
Yeah.
can do it. Let me share my screen. Right? See, I had the PR and I can review it. And we can restrict the permissions of each user so that no one will see the merge. I mean, no one can do this merge unless you have a permissions. This is how PRs work. Understood? If you want, I can add you guys here. Just send your email IDs which are registered with us and which are having the GitHub account. So that I can add you guys, and I'll also change the permissions later so that you will not see merge permission, only I'll have the merge permissions. Any more questions from anyone? Repo one. Contributors. This is all stats we are seeing. More options. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, you can ask me in the Git, whichever topics we have covered. See, limit to existing users. Users, contributors, collaborators, account settings. If we can make these changes, so that will restrict. I'll change this later. But that's how PRs work. Hope you got an understanding. I'll add you guys to this repo, a common repo where you all can push and pull onto my repository where you can raise the PRs within yourself also, within your own repo also you can do. I'll add all of that. Any queries on Git?
Yeah, Priti. What is the difference between Git clone and Git fork?
Git clone. Git clone is, let's say you have a remote repo here, right? I want to
Yeah.
get it into my local and work on it. You do Git clone, like we did yesterday and all. Fork, some open source project, some public repository available on GitHub, right? You fork it means it will be added into your GitHub account. Like repo one, it will be added as another account, another repository here. Like I
Yeah,
have repo one,
like directly remote account only.
remote, it will be on GitHub like this. See MediaWiki. If I want to work on it again, I have to clone this.
Okay.
Clone is to create a local repository, right? Whereas fork is it will copy some public repository into your account.
Yeah, okay, got it. Thank you.
And like once the complete hands-on is done, whoever are having pending with the hands-on part, like whoever were still working on the second day or third day, complete your hands-on before the next class, right? So here are all the answers. I'm showing you again. Day one, day two, everything, quiz, everything you should complete. Let's say if you go to the assignment, okay. If you go to the assignment, I'll go to first assignment. Same is the case with any other assignments, right? Complete these things. Everything is here. Once this is done, you have scenario-based questions. I'm repeating this. Whoever missed on the day one, day two, this will help everyone to finish your hands-on. If you notice, it will be completely hands-on. As we progress, Yes, we'll be getting into in-depth concepts and all. If you pile up the things, you will not be able to complete your hands-on on regular basis. So please go through it and finish it. Interview questions. Let me go to GIT first. Beginner level, intermediate level, advanced, and scenario based. You have everything here. Scenario based questions. Let's say you are done, you have mastered, learned GIT completely, go through it. GIT commands given here for a quick reference. Whatever we learned here in GIT part is more than enough. We have learned more. Actually, you don't need this much. Just push, pull is what we use on general basis. PRs we use, creating branches, merging them. This is what we use. Rebase, stash, or these things, reset, very less use. But we have covered everything thoroughly, which is more than enough. So it's now on you who have to dedicate your time and complete the hands-on, go through the interview questions and master GIT, so that any sort of interview question you can handle with whatever we have covered. This is more than required. And another thing I want to show, like let's suppose not only get any tool, like there will be so many options available. Like if you see log, this will show you complete log, right? But let's say I just want to see brief log. We were using one line. Let's say I want to see log on a single file, on a particular file. Okay, log of means commit history on this file. Yes, you can do git log file name. So there will be so many options. You don't need to learn or by heart all the options available. No one knows all the options. No one is expected to learn or by heart. But let's say, okay, tomorrow you have a requirement that, okay, on the log, I want the log from so and so date, or else I want a log in the different format. So if you have such things, you need not learn all those options, memorize them and all. What you should know as a person who works in the real project, you should know, okay, there is an option. This is how you can check. I'm sorry. Help will open the Git manual page, man pages, right? So Git log, synopsis, description, different options. If you use up and down arrows, you can browse through. See, these are all the different options. Like one line, you have follow, you have no decorate. If you want to set a particular date, I haven't used this. It's not mandatory that everyone will be using it. You should learn or buy it, but you should know, okay, this is how you can check all the options available. Even in the interview, if interview want to ask a very rarest question, this is how you can answer. I haven't used this, but we can check using this man page this way. You should know, okay, this is how you can search for any sort of options available. If the option is not here, means that's not possible. That's all. See, since date, you want to check from a particular date till a particular date. Show commits more recent than a specific date, right? So until date. Author, you want to filter the logs depending on some author, right? Means the creator who have made the commits. So you have so many things. This is how you can refer. This is one way to refer the man page using help for any command. Let's say even commit command, if you don't know, if let's say you don't know, you are a beginner, you can learn this way. See, name, synopsis, different options, description, and so on. We have seen git commit -m. There are again so many options. We might not have used them, that those may not be required, but you should know, okay, this is possible. This is how you can do. This is one way through the CLI. Through the, if you want to check on the browser also, I have shown you. Sorry. This is the Bible for Git. This is the official reference of the documentation, right? These are the downloads. And if you go to the documentation, you have a book, you have everything here. Some few videos by that vendor, and you can search here. Okay, I want to search something for the log. The same man page, you can see here, Git log documentation, right? This may be a bit difficult to understand for a beginner, but slowly you can get used. We don't need them. Like I said, very rarely, in case if you need it, you can refer here, right? So book, some videos by the vendor, some external links, downloads, community for any help, everything. Different branching strategies. You don't need to go to this as of now. First, master whatever we have covered. That is more than enough to clear the interviews and work on the projects. If you need any rarest command, if you want to explore, experiment something, you can see here. Setup, configs, you have all of that. Branching, merging. I think I have shared almost all the information, how you should do the hands-on, or how you should progress. So if you can master whatever we learned, you will be comfortable and confident working in your projects. Always learn more than required. We have done that with the GIT. But now, how to use GIT in the CI/CD? Yes, that we need to cover. For that, like I said, we will be starting with the Linux in the next class, Linux basics. Like whatever we need, at least working with the files and folders, whichever we need from DevOps perspective. Then we'll install Jenkins on a Linux server. Get started with Jenkins, like launch Jenkins, get to the Jenkins dashboard. Then we'll start creating the pipeline by integrating it with GitHub. So once we start those pipelines, each and every time, whatever we have learned the flow from the beginning, like you make some Terraform file, Terraform configuration file or manifest files, you update that in your repo and that should trigger the pipeline. From DevOps developer perspective, yes, they will write the code and they will containerize their code. Containerize means like just a high level I'm talking about. They'll create a Docker file, put it in their repo, that should trigger the pipeline. So how all of this works, how is the structure of the repos, how do we auto trigger the pipelines, how is pipeline created automatically whenever you create a branch, all of that are the things we are going to learn. And as we progress with those topics, I would not be coming back and teaching you what is git add, git commit. I will straight away do the commits and proceed. That's the reason I'm asking you to master this, because focus shifts from the next topic. That's how it is. Once you learn Jenkins, then the focus shifts to Kubernetes. We learn Kubernetes, we already learned Jenkins, we'll come back and integrate it. So you should tune to this method throughout the course so that you would be on par with the hands-on, on the same pace with me, with the concept, so that you would thoroughly learn and revise by the time we finish the course. Any questions from anyone?
So Preeti, we were talking about Jenkins, Kubernetes, right? We have other way of continuous integration deployment like using Azure DevOps, right? So there we are not using any Jenkins. What is the difference between this approach and that approach, Preeti?
Where are we not using Jenkins? You mean in the Kubernetes deployment?
No, in the Azure DevOps, right? Directly we are using the Azure DevOps. We are there itself. We are creating the pipelines. From there we are
So
getting
how
the
are you
code.
creating the pipeline in Azure DevOps? What are you
We
using to create the pipeline in Azure DevOps? Which services are you using?
actually I didn't remember, but we have not used any Jenkins. Will we use anything in the background?
Actually, if you are available on the day one, I'm talking about DevOps methodology. When we are discussing DevOps methodology, DevOps is a methodology, right? You can implement it on platform, on cloud, on irrespective of the platform you could implement, right? So let's suppose you are implementing it on-prem. We would be using these tools and services. Or else, if you are implementing it on cloud also, yes, you could have your Jenkins server running there and we implement it. That is one approach. Another approach is either it is on-prem or on cloud, we'll use Jenkins. Another approach is if you are using cloud, there will be some DevOps specific services which can help you create those pipelines. Those are DevOps specific services. Means you may not use Jenkins. You'll be having some cloud specific services like in AWS, we have AWS code pipeline. You don't need Jenkins there. Using code pipeline, we will create a CI/CD pipeline there. Similarly, like every cloud will have its own services. Using that, they'll create a pipelines like Azure pipelines. In AWS, it's AWS pipelines. But it's only like cloud specific. right? Like if you use AWS code pipeline, it's AWS specific. I can't use this for other environments. Let's say if I have some infra or something on, if I have something on-prem, I can't use it. Again, I should go for Jenkins or some continuous integration tool or continuous deployment tools. So those are different approaches. Here, yes, we will be learning an approach which could be implemented on cloud or on-prem. Also, we will learn those cloud-specific services, which is AWS code pipeline.
Okay.
Yes, GitLab is also continuous integration tool, Surya. GitLab actions, GitLab can be used like a continuous integration server. Don't get confused. That's not a GitHub. It's a GitLab. The whole point is, yes, today we are using Jenkins. Tomorrow I might be moved to some other project or some other company. I might be using some other tool there. But Jenkins is very widely used. But as an example, I'm giving. So there might be some, but the concepts, the strategies, these remain similar. The analogies remain similar. With the knowledge you have, with a little exploration, you can switch to other tools. But Jenkins is very widely used than any other. And there are companies which uses both. So for some projects, they'll use Jenkins, and for something which are tightly bound with AWS, they might be using those specific services. Combination is used. So I'm covering both so that it will help you. And like I said, yes, tools changes, platforms changes. We should be flexible to move on with those. If you know the actual concepts and the strategies, that will help you to apply the same analogies, concepts for the new tools as well, with some exploration and learning. Any more questions? Anything else regarding the previous classes, or any questions you have? I don't see people coming with the queries with the previous topics. So I can consider this like you are not doing the hands-on, which is not correct. You should complete your hands-on, come up with the queries in the next day or post it in the groups. Be active for these 2 months. Put your effort so that you can benefit out of the course.
Definitely, Preeti. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your support. So in the meantime, we may ask some basic questions. Please don't mind.
No worries. No worries. Only one thing is, if you are missing any particular class, right? Like let's say for your due to your schedule or for some thing else, whatever be the reason, like if you have missed any sessions, I would request you to please watch it and join the next class, because you miss the continuity and you have to go there to understand what we are discussing today, because the classes would be like, it's a continuous part. It's not each topic, okay, we are done with Git, the Git is completed. Now tomorrow start Jenkins, we'll never use Git. No, they're all dependent. Like we'll be having dependency on the previous classes. And if you notice till now, by now you might have understood the classes would be completely informative. Like we would be discussing to the point, and every point we discuss here is important. It's not that, okay, this 5 minutes you can ignore, and then this 10 minutes we were discussing something like this, we are deviating from the topic and coming back. No, we completely focus on the topic. Every point we discuss, everything we mention here is very important. So to grasp that, you have to put some time, listen the recording again, note down all the points if you want, like a personal notes, whatever it is, or re-listen if required. So try to understand the complete part so that you would be ready for the next session. And if you miss, yes, please watch it and come back. Otherwise, like if you don't watch the previous classes and if you are coming to the 5th day because like of your office schedule or whatever, you might be having that gap. So you have to work on and put additional effort to bridge the gap. Answering a question is not a problem. Only thing is, we shouldn't deviate, or we shouldn't, if required, like a revision kind is fine. But just repeating the part, or else if you miss there'll be a gap. So those things you have to correct from your end so that you would be on the flow. I would request all of you, once you are registered with the course, once you are determined to go ahead, please dedicate the time, give complete importance to what you are learning, Trust the course, put your complete dedication so that you will benefit out of the course. It would be difficult. Definitely, there will be some days coming up where you'd be stuck up. The commands may not be working. You might be stuck up there, but that's where you should show your strong determination to not to leave and go ahead. Like not to leave the hands on. Okay, let's leave this. This is we are facing some issue. Let's leave. Let's do it tomorrow. Don't do that. Sit and complete the hands on as much as possible. Show the complete dedication to benefit out of the course. It's not an easy task. I don't say it's easy, but it's not something which is impossible. There are people who have got offers, who have switched their careers. There are multiple people with that dedication. And if you go through the content perfectly, that's possible. As we have some time, we were discussing this, like we'll be getting on to the topics from Monday, like from Linux, and then that's how we progress. Any questions, any more queries you have?
So we will be discussing from tomorrow. We don't have class.
Classes will be from Monday to Friday. Yes, tomorrow
Okay.
will not.
So coming to this Linux part, right? Are we getting that Linux OS or Linux image somewhere to install and practice? Will that be in that way, or how do we
We'll
do that?
be using AWS instances.
Okay, we need to start using AWS instances.
Yes, that's what we'll do on Monday. Creating an AWS account, creating an EC2, why you need it, what are the other options you can go with, we'll discuss. We can go with, like you mentioned, VMs and all, but that will add an additional overhead on your laptop as well as that's not the reality. In reality, we are not using VMs, we are using cloud. So you will also get exposure to the cloud. So we'll create some EC2 instances for Linux and we'll start hands-on on that. Complete lab creation, everything will help. Let's say you are stucking up here, you are blocked here, you need some help here. Bring up the issue, we are here to help you. I may not be responding immediately as I do also have my regular like work. So we have Raj who can help you, who can guide you. Even I will be pitching in wherever needed, or if I see and if I'm available, I would also respond. But whatever it is, you would get the help. Whoever it is, we will make sure you are getting the complete help during the hands-on. So you have nothing to wait for. You have to get started. I don't see anyone or maybe one or two who have completed hands-on. Not everyone, but everyone should do it. Everyone, whoever enrolled, should benefit out of the course. That's what we make sure. So please get started if you haven't. Complete your hands-on. You have 2 days off. You shouldn't pile up the things for the weekend because weekend should be a revision. Weekend should not be a first time do. But as this is our beginning, that's fine. But that's how you should plan. Every day you should complete your hands-on. Weekend should be a revision. You should utilize the weekend for revision, going through the quiz, going through the assignments, interview questions. That's what you should focus on the weekend. All right, then that's all I have. If you have any questions, anything from your end, we can discuss. I don't want to pick up a new topic. As this is the first tool, also, I don't see people doing the hands-on, but this kind of space you would not get from the next week. We can't wait or dedicate one session after each topic. That wouldn't be possible. So just as this is the first week, plan and complete all the piled up hands-on topics and we'll get started from Monday. Utilize this time. And any questions you have, you can ask me. That is all from my end for today. Any questions, anything you have?
Is it Kubernetes Docker pod also in the same cloud area? Preeti, are we discussing in the AWS only?
Docker, Kubernetes are tools for containerization and container orchestration. Always, any tool, every tool, remember, they are not cloud specific or they are not like on-prem specific kind of or specific to VMs. Just Docker is a containerization tool. Kubernetes is a container orchestrator tool. You may use it on-prem, you may use it on cloud, right? That is one approach. Another thing is like, again, I mentioned, like AWS or any cloud offers certain managed services. Like yes, AWS offers a managed service called EKS, Elastic Kubernetes Service. What is that cloud offering Kubernetes managed service? How is it different and all we will learn. But just understand whenever you look at any tool, it's not any cloud specific. See, take a simple example, Git. We learned Git. Now I'll ask a question. Is this Git specific to cloud? Just I'm asking you so that you will get clarity. That's all. Ask the
It's
question,
not specific. It's a different.
right? It's not specific. I may use it in my laptop. I may use it in my VM. I may use it in some on some EC2 instance, isn't it? If you are onto cloud, you know EC2 instance, or else any VMs on any cloud. I may use it there. It is just version controlling tool. Same is the case with Docker. I may use Docker in my laptop. I may use it on some VMs. I may use it on AWS VMs. I may use it on whatever cloud. Same is the case with Kubernetes. For
Yeah.
container orchestration, I can create Kubernetes cluster on-prem. I can create it with some VMs. On cloud with some EC2 instances, I can create a cluster. Or else, AWS offers a managed Kubernetes service. Managed service means it will give you more flexibility on creating a cluster, managing it, providing high availability. We'll learn it separately. But the whole concept of Kubernetes is irrespective of cloud or anything.
That I understood. I'm just trying to understand while we are working with the Jenkins and CI/CD pipelines, right?
Okay.
Where we are planning to deploy that code inside the Kubernetes. It's inside the AWS Kubernetes or on-premises Kubernetes. How do we plan that?
Okay. So again, where we'll create a cluster as an on-prem first, like a kind of on-prem cluster, because you should know that first. We will do that and we'll do the complete hands-on. Because it's not a real on-prem because we don't have that on-prem servers, right? So there are certain advanced features which we can't do with that lab setup. There we'll be using EKS service, manager service. And coming to the pipeline, pipelines can deploy to on-prem or as well as to AWS clusters. Again, it could be anything. There is no restriction. Pipeline could deploy only to certain. And in our case, we will be creating pipeline which will deploy to EKS cluster because that is more widely used in reality. You can do either way. CI/CD pipeline could deploy to Kubernetes on-prem or else Kubernetes EKS service, EKS cluster. We'll do it for EKS cluster.
Thank you.
And if you deploy to EKS cluster, it would be similar to on-prem. Means of course there'll be differences in configuration, but analogy concepts means the whole point when I say it's similar means you can do it on your own. Again, when I talk about Kubernetes, even though it's on-prem, the configurations, how they do that differs from project to project, company to company. There will be different wide range of setups, configuration, security practices implemented. But the whole thing is, it's not that you should go on every project, but what we learn here, with that you could apply and work on any different kind of things. Of course, new security settings may want to apply another way of application or implementation, but that is all self-learning. That comes with your self-learning. It's a long way to go, at least by the time we complete or we go halfway through the CI/CD pipelines, because CI/CD pipeline completion will take 2 months. But at least by the time we create few stages with the GitHub, Jenkins, Maven, by then you will get a clarity on the flow. It's a day-by-day journey. On the day one, like on the demo day, you might not get complete. And now you are seeing the first tool, Git, right? As we progress day by day, you can connect the dots, and by the time we finish, you will get the complete picture. Because it's not something we can clarify or we can show or you get visibility on one day. That is not possible. So it's eventually you will get that visibility. All right, then go for the hands-on, reach out on WhatsApp. You can post your queries over the weekend and will help you to complete the hands-on. Anything else? Can we close here for today?
Nothing, Priti. We are very good. Thank you very much.
From my end. Yeah.
Okay, so complete your hands-on, get ready with your queries, expecting more queries on Monday with your hands-on, or else you can also post it in the WhatsApp group. But I want to hear from every one of you completing the hands-on. All right then, good day. Thank you all. See you all on Monday morning. Happy weekend. Bye everyone.
Thank you. Happy weekend. Bye.
Thank you all.